using a guest book as potentially incorporating it into like your photo booth. Even like something like a DIY style with a Polaroid camera.
Yeah.
And they can put, pictures, and you have pictures of all your guests that they've shaken, and that they like, and they put that in the book and write something. Or, having a cool piece of art or signage that you're going to hang in your house. I've seen like skis as a great one too, a pair of skis, and it has all the guests like, warm wishes. And
yeah, that's very Colorado.
It is very Colorado. Yeah. So, and having that be able to, be a cool statement piece in your home that you can look at every day.
Welcome to the Colorado Wedding Podcast, the ultimate place to plan your Colorado wedding.
From luxury weddings to intimate elopements, we'll guide you through planning your wedding in the beautiful state of Colorado.
We're your hosts, Josh
and Brian,
and we're here to give you insider tips and advice from all kinds of Colorado wedding experts.
Join us and discover the best ways to reduce wedding stress and design your unique wedding day.
Hello and welcome to the Colorado Wedding Podcast. We are the ultimate place to go to plan your Colorado wedding. And today we are here with Taylor Strope. She is the owner of Mountainside Events. She's seen a ton of Colorado weddings. She's born and raised here in Colorado, and she has been in the wedding hospitality industry for 12 years. So she's really seen a ton of stuff, and we've done some past content with her, and it's been awesome. So today we're going to be unpacking wedding decor checklist, and she's got a ton of great information today she's going to share with us. So thank you, Taylor, so much for being here.
Yeah, thank you.
I know you've been on before. Could you just give us a quick story of who you are, who the company is, and what you guys do, and why do you love what you do here in Colorado?
Yeah, so I'm Taylor Strope. I am the owner of Mountainside Events, and we're a wedding and event planning company here in Fort Collins, Colorado. And we've been in business for over 7 years as a company. I've been planning weddings, even dates back longer than that. And definitely I love what I do, and love being able to help couples. We do everything from month of coordination to partial and full service planning. So we're very involved in wedding day and details, and we've seen a lot of weddings and events, and happy to give our advice and expertise on what we've seen work well.
Well, great.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for being here, and thanks for all the advice and expertise that you're able to give the following here in Colorado. So let's jump in. So we're going to be talking about reception as well. Let's just jump into some of those.
Yeah.
And I see some awesome ones here. So I know we talked about florals for the ceremony, but how does that differ? I mean, how do you think about florals for the ceremony as well? Or for the reception?
Yeah. So, obviously incorporating florals into the reception creates a more cohesive space.
Yeah.
So you have the ceremony, but you can also have, florals on the centerpieces, or, potentially like your accent tables too, like a welcome table, maybe something on the bar, dessert tables, could be something on your cake, things like that. And just kind of incorporating that into the overall theme of the day too.
And do those florals, I'm not a florist, do those kind of match with generally what all the ladies are wearing and their little flower sticks?
And the bouquets.
What are those called? Bouquets.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Like, definitely want to match it with, any of the attire and, things like that, or the overall colors as well. We don't want it to contrast too much with like, the linen colors and napkins and, and obviously, what everybody is wearing too. So we wanted to make it all cohesive. So that's something that we help couples do, is we put together these design boards that also go over like the overall design of it and making sure that everything feels and matches and fits well, with the color and the style and the theme and, things like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And how about with signage at the reception? What kind of signs? I mean, maybe seating charts and saying things like that. What do you recommend for couples there?
Yeah. So seating charts is a great one. We would also maybe other signage around the venue space, like any of those accent tables. If you have a gifts and cards table, maybe having some sort of sign that lets people know, like, put your card in the box.
Yeah.
Or if you have a photo booth and it's like letting people know what to do. Even like bar signs too.
Yeah.
Maybe if you have a specialty cocktail, you want to do some sort of fun, cocktail sign or something like that.
Yeah.
There's some great ones that I've seen, really cute ones of, some couples that want to incorporate, say, their pets, like their dogs, and they want to name their cocktails after their dogs. And so, having a cute sign that even has a picture of their dog or, something like that. And
yeah.
Here's what this signature drink is, that can always also be fun.
That is awesome. Mm-hmm. Well, also, how about with lighting and just setting the mood in the reception hall?
Yeah.
How do you coach your couples with that?
Yeah, lighting is really important because, as as a photographer and videographer, the lighting could really set the space. It can be everything from, just like simple candles and things that are on the tables, to also like other enhanced lighting around the space too. Some venues do provide, the lighting and some don't. And so if you're trying to go a little bit more the extra mile, potentially adding like uplights around the space, or DJ lights. Some DJs do provide lights for the dance floor. And if you want to encourage people to be outside, potentially some bistro lighting or something like that to create a nice, well-lit space outside. Could be, where you have your dance floor.
Yeah.
Or even if you wanted to go, even further and do some cool, like, gobo lighting with their names, like, projected on a wall.
Oh,
or
yeah.
even the side of a mountain, which I've seen a couple of times as well, which is pretty neat. So, yeah, so you can do a lot with lights. And, that's a great way to really up-level the overall space and really wow your guests.
Yeah, that can really create any sort of atmosphere. Mm-hmm. You can totally manipulate the setting there with just how you light.
Absolutely, yeah.
If it's too harsh, it can just be like, what are we doing here? But if it's got a certain mood.
Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome. Well, in addition to that signage, dinner and drink venues. Mm-hmm. How do you go about designing those? Are those on each table or?
Yeah. So, I kind of talked about like drink signage if you were to have that at the bar.
Yeah.
But let's say, you want your guests to know what they're about to eat. Dinner cards or even some sort of menu card that's at each place setting is great. Mm-hmm. It can create a really awesome table layout when guests get there and they see this really pretty table setting and then they see a menu card there showing what exactly is in the meal.
Yeah.
And going a little bit more into description of what those items are too. It's a great thing also to make sure that guests are well aware of like what they're eating and drinking, especially in regards to dietary restrictions too.
Yeah.
So that way they know like, the salad has pine nuts in it, and if they're allergic, then they're not, they know they shouldn't be eating that, which ideally we're communicating that far in advance. So we already know that person would be, has some sort of allergy or something. But it's just good to know and make sure that like everybody knows exactly what is in the food and what they're eating.
Totally.
Yeah.
Well, in addition to that, with tables, what other decorations and items do you recommend having on the dinner tables?
Yeah, so I mentioned florals, but you can absolutely go a different route too. It doesn't have to be that. You could potentially do some candles and some vases, or maybe incorporate pine cones, or fun things like that. Or it could just be like simple greenery. We always are encouraging repurposing if we can. Try and be as mindful to be less wasteful. And so if we can repurpose,
there can be so much waste.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like, for example, maybe we put the bridesmaids bouquets as the floral table centerpiece too. And that could be something that, you got your flowers there. They're not going to need it for the rest of the night. So it can act as a great centerpiece.
Oh yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah. So, other things to go about, your other tablescapes. We have a ton of decor that we have in our inventory that, we can definitely make really pretty tablescapes happen.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, how about with the dessert table? What sort of decor do you see on those that just looks awesome and fits wedding themes?
Yeah, so obviously some sort of platters or trays for whatever dessert you have. If you have a cake stand is great.
Yeah.
If you have other desserts though too, then, having tiered displays, or I always like to mix it. I like, mixed textures and colors and things like that. So, say, we have a couple like different single cake stands or single dessert stands, and then we have tiered ones as well. And so, having a mix of that can really create a really beautiful dessert table.
Yeah.
Or if you're going to do a cake cutting, you're going to definitely need a cake knife and a server. So it's something that tends to be forgotten.
Oh, I've seen that.
Yeah. And
where's the knife?
Yeah. And it's like they're getting ready to cut the cake and they don't have a knife. So yeah, obviously, that's pretty important too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally. Well, how about with the guest book? When the guests are signing in, leaving something nice, what do you tell your couples when they're thinking about that?
Yeah, so you could go the route of the traditional guest book and they just, sign or say something, well wishes or advice or something like that. But I always like to get a little bit more creative with it.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah. So, using a guest book as potentially incorporating it into like your photo booth. Even like something like a DIY style with a Polaroid camera.
Yeah.
And they can put, pictures, and you have pictures of all your guests that they've taken, and that they like, and they put that in the book and write something. Or, having a cool piece of art or signage that you're going to hang in your house. I've seen like skis as a great one too, a pair of skis, and it has all the guests like, warm wishes and.
Yeah, that's very Colorado.
It is very Colorado. Yeah. So, and having that be able to, be a cool statement piece in your home that you can look at every day.
Yeah, that's awesome. I've even seen one of my friends' weddings. People wrote letters to them for different years out in their marriage. It's kind of cool. You open them up on your anniversary.
That's nice.
So
that's awesome. I like that.
Yeah.
Cool.
Cool. Well, a couple more here. So with wedding favors, what have you seen, couples give to their attendees? That's worked out well.
Yeah. So with favors, I definitely suggest that it's something that you could see your couples using or having, all the time. It's not something that it's going to be cheap little something that they're going to just toss, because that's going to create a lot of waste. So, some of our favorite favors that we've seen are like custom mugs or wine tumblers. This can also act as a place card too, so they get there, they see that their name is on their mug, and that's like also can be their seat. So that's a great way to kind of have dual purpose.
Yeah.
Or maybe potentially engraved bottle openers is a fun one, that somebody, has and they keep in their home, and, it's a wine opener or something like that.
Yeah.
One of my favorites though was a custom brewed beer that a couple made, and
that's really cool.
They made this beer and then had made their own custom label for it. And that was the favor that they gave to all their guests.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Cause it's like they made that and that was special. And then all their guests get to try their beer that they made.
Yeah. That's amazing.
That was a cool one. Yeah.
Well, last point here with decorating the dance floor. I mean, that's one of the most important spots. I know the DJs can bring lights and a table and stuff, but I mean, what's your role in creating that dance floor, and what do you see that works the best?
Yeah, I mean, definitely some good lighting is fun. Even if you were to potentially have some other, furniture croppings outside of the dance floor too, so people could go have a place to sit, unwind, and then come back and get back to the dance floor is great. We've definitely seen some pretty cool dance floors. Like there's some companies out there that have like really neat specialty dance floors as well. So if you're really trying to wow your guests, that's going to be like also one of those statement pieces too. You know, when they walk in and they see this like really awesome, beautifully lit dance floor.
Yeah. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Well, thanks so much for just unpacking all that information. That was a ton.
Yeah.
I'm sure people are going to have more questions. So thanks so much for just your expertise and being with us today. If you could, before we close up, if you could give just our guests some information where to find you. And I'm sure they have tons of questions here. We'd love for them to find you on your website and Instagram, social media, and just how to best get in touch with you.
Yes. So you can find us on mountainsideevents.com. We also have a few of our blog posts that we have on our website that have these lists as well. So if somebody is needing to reference this,
we'll link that like in our description.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, definitely. Because it is helpful just to know, like, here's all the different things that you're going to need.
Yeah.
And different areas that you can decorate. You know, we always offer to our couples, to use any decor that we have that they can rent, because we've had it so much over the years, you know, and accumulated a lot of decor.
So, that's awesome.
Yeah. But yeah, mountainsideevents.com. We're on Facebook, Instagram. Definitely go give us a follow, you know, see what we're doing. We always post on stories of all the fun events that we've been doing too. So
that is awesome.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for being with us today, and for your support. Thanks so much.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. Well, thank you guys for tuning in at the Colorado Wedding Podcast. We'll see you next time.
Thanks for listening to this episode of the Colorado Wedding Podcast.
We hope you found our tips insightful for planning your Colorado wedding.
For all the free wedding planning tools, checklists, and guides, go to coloradoweddingguides.com.
Don't forget to rate us on Apple and Spotify, and be sure to follow us on Instagram at CO Wedding Podcast.
We appreciate you and hope you have the best wedding possible.
See you next time.